I am so excited for this video because I've waited over a month to record it. So let's unbox some Thai gloves. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Combat Corporation, your source of combat sports. I'm your host, the Postmaster Morrow, and today I'm very excited to prove once and for all, I always read your comments. Ever since I started the channel, I like to think I was a little bit different from most reviewers because not only did I compete in boxing at a young age, but I've also competed in Muay Thai, kickboxing, and of course now I am a professional mixed martial artist. So I wanted to be somewhat unique in that I reviewed boxing gloves, kickboxing and Muay Thai gloves, and MMA gloves. But lately, I've had so many comments saying that I don't review enough Thai brands. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I've reviewed fan favorites such as Twins, Fairtex, Combat Corner, Yokow, brands like that. But a lot of Thai purists tell me that there are some brands that just aren't readily accessible to the United States that you don't see very often. And they're pretty much true because there are some gloves in these boxes, well, bags, that I've never actually used before. One of the brands in this bag that I've never seen in person before. So that's actually a unique experience for me because when it comes to gloves, I've seen virtually all of them. Now I had to wait a little bit because some of these gloves actually had to come directly from Thailand and it was a long shipping process. There was nothing I could do about it. So I did have to wait about a month for it. The only gloves that came in after about a week were the ones in the middle because I bought them from my buddy James at Fight Equipment UK. So I bought these. They did come from Thailand. They are made in Thailand. It is a Thai brand. I'll keep what brand it is a secret till I open it, but they came from the UK, but either way, still a Thai brand. And then these three and these other bags actually came directly from Thailand because I bought these from Fighter's Boutique. I got to talk to the guy over the phone and he was super nice. Fighter's Boutique is really cool because they're based out of, I believe, Atlanta, Georgia in the United States on the East Coast, just like me. Granted, that's on the complete opposite end. I'm in New York, he's in Georgia. But everything he has, and he assured me, comes from Thailand. He says he will not deal from any warehouse that does not come directly from Thailand, that he can prove they were made and sold from the motherland, which I think is absolutely awesome that there is a type of retailer in the United States that focus on bringing you authentic Thai gear. But hey, with that said, let's go ahead and start ripping into these bags. I want to start with the one in the center from the UK/Thailand. Let's just rip this right open. That was super easy. Wow, okay, I can see everything immediately. Boom! Fight Equipment UK. Thank you for shopping with us. Anytime, James. Thank you. You see, I just did some reviews on Players Boxing, and that's James's brand. As you can see, you got Tom Aspinall there. And I got more of the Players reviews coming within the next week here. All right, so when we open this up, this is a brand that's been recommended, and it's one of the fan favorites of a lot of pure Thai brands out there, and that is indeed Sandee. Okay, as you can see through all this bubble wrap. Of course you can see that. Isn't it not blurry at all? All right, let's take it out of its protective bubble wrap layer. Woo! Whoa! Ooh, that is a great leather scent. Some of you might not know that Thai gloves often have an overly pronounced open thumb and a short circular wrist cuff. That's so they fit to your hand easier so you can have better mobility when it comes to clinch work. But compared to most Thai gloves I've tried, these are just a touch taller. And to give you a comparison idea, one of the most common Thai gloves out there is the Fairtex BGV1, and it's a very short, fat, and stocky glove that is well known for its good clinch work. The theory is the taller the glove, the worse your fingers can get a grip onto something, so most gloves are shorter. The only Thai glove I can think of that's taller than the Sandee is the HMIT by Combat Corner. And when I reviewed these, I talked about how my fingers slipped out from the grip bar all the time because of how big they were. So do I think that's going to affect the clinch work down the line? I don't know quite yet. When we go into the exact model I have here, I got them in the 16-ounce hook and loop Velcro closure in the blue coloration. I wanted to get a different color, but 16 ounces was only available in the blue coloration. You can see it says Sandee Thailand on that logo in the front, and it pops out really well. Outer shell has a really rich blue color to it till you get over to the palm, which you can see is white and has a couple breathe holes in the center. Like most Thai gloves, you have a little bit of padding on the side to catch some kicks. And on the wrist cuff, it says Sandee Thailand in blue and red. You also have a tag there reminding you it's 16 ounces. The outer shell is made of a really nice, genuine cowhide leather, and it feels and smells amazing. Now, the padding is a lot softer than most Thai gloves I've tried, but it still has your standard 3-layer foam mold of EVA, latex, and high-density foams. It does open and close really easily because of that overly pronounced open thumb, but the tips of my fingers are getting pinched by the grip bar and the padding. Gloves are made really high quality, but I hope they break in over time because I can definitely see the tightness in the fingers starting to bug me me very quickly. I also can't say the Velcro is too strong because my hand just kind of slides right out. Moving on to the next gloves from the Fighter's Boutique. I don't know which ones these will be, but they are a single package, and I'm wondering what they are. They're green, so I know what they are right off the bat, and I'm excited for these. I always love bringing you new brands to the channel, but this is a special brand because they've been around since 1960 and is often regarded as one of the oldest Thai brands out there. Introducing Thaismai. A lot of old school Muay Thai practitioners that comment on my channel say Thaismai is one of the best gloves that they've ever used. When I called the Fighter's Boutique owner to talk about what gloves I wanted to order, he flat out said Thaismai are probably going to be your favorite out of any Thai glove you've ever used. This is a brand that I've actually never seen in person, so it's kind of cool to see it up close and personal. The model I got is a green colored 16-ounce hook and loop closure, and again, you can get them in a bunch of different colors, but I don't really have a whole lot of green gloves, so I went with these. You can see the logo says the best of quality Thaismai gear, handmade in Thailand. That really nice deep money green, and you can see you actually have a web thumb here at the top. Unlike almost every Thai glove I see, there's actually no side padding, so that's really interesting. But you do have your same 5 breathe holes that you get with most gloves. And you can see down here it says Thaismai gloves, and I love that they have the little exclamation point there. It's kind of funny. You can see that it says composition leather, handmade in Thailand on that tag there, and it also reminds you you've got 16 ounces. The glove feels incredibly broken in right off the bat because you have a really nice soft and buttery smooth thick cowhide leather over the padding, and the padding has more of a multi-layered foam core to the inside, and as you can see it is very soft and squishy. Ooh. This might be one of the most comfortable fits I've ever had with a boxing glove. Strap really nice to your wrist. You have tons of mobility. They open and close great. The only thing I think I would be concerned about for some is that if you're pure in boxing, you might hate that you could poke somebody with the thumb there. But overall, the grips are absolutely awesome. These are super soft and feel great on my hand. I think the owner of the Fighter's Boutique was right. They might be my favorite right off the bat. Now we have the bag with 2 gloves in it, so I'm really excited to see what we got here. So let's go ahead and open it up. And the first one I see is another brand that's new to the channel and that I've never used. I've seen plenty of people use them. That is the Raja gloves. Also bought an original pair of Windies because I've reviewed the Windy gloves that you can get off Combat Sports, but they are completely different. I'm going to put the Windies off to the side before I unbox them because I really want to get into the Raja gloves here. So let's unbox these Raja gloves here. And the leather smells really good right off the bat, and they feel really similar to kind of like Fairtex leather almost. It actually has some cool Raja wrapping paper. I've never seen a brand that actually has like wrapping paper with their brand logo on it. That's kind of cool. Now, fun fact is that these gloves are called Raja, and so is my dog. Though she has an H at the end, she's named after the tiger from Aladdin. But I went to try and get her up off of my bed, but she's taking a nap and will not be bothered for anyone or anything. So she's going to stay there. I'll put some pictures across the screen so you can see her. Now, Raja is a brand that's been around since I believe the early 2000s, and they're very popular. I've met a couple different people that have used these, but I've never actually tried them myself. I wanted to say that the name was right after the stadium, which is the biggest Muay Thai stadium in all of Thailand, but actually the name is kind of loosely inspired by it. Raja actually translates to the word king in the Sanskrit language. Exact model I got is the red colored 16-ounce hook and loop closure, but just like every other glove I've talked about so far, you can get them in different colorations, different sizes, and different closures. You have your standard branded oval logo there in the center, but you can see we got the crown up top, and it says professional boxing equipment and the best in the ring. And for stronger thumb reinforcement, you got a web thumb design up there. A lot of other Thai gloves, you have breathe holes in the center and a little bit of padding off to the side to catch kicks. Instead of having a tag, it's actually sublimated into the leather that you got 16 ounces, and you also have a really nice patch on the bottom that says Raja down there, and it has their website right there. There's also a gold stamp on the other side that says RJB and quality made in Thailand. The outer shell is made of a very nice high quality cowhide leather, and it is very, very thick. Actually kind of smells like a barn, so I guess we know it came from a cow. The padding is not too firm and not too soft. It's perfect right in the middle too. Oh, when I put my hand on the inside of this glove, there's actually a tag right there. It's a little leather boxing glove tag that says it's made by Raja Boxing. They are a pretty comfortable fit, but I did have to move the interior lining around a little bit towards my fingers, which could be a little annoying. Out of the other gloves that I've unboxed, this actually has the most natural fist so far. Open and close very easily off the jump, which is great for good grips and clinch work. So really the only annoying part so far is that the interior lining is a little baggy, but the gloves are very well made. The leather has that really nice rustic barnyard scent and feel to it, so I really like how unique that is. And also they're not too hard, not too soft, and I think they're going to break in wonderfully. So I'm really excited for these. All right, last but not least, we have Windy, which to my knowledge, I believe is really considered the first Thai brand starting in 1951. Wow, woo! That leather punches you in the face with these gloves, jeez. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I've reviewed Windy stuff, but they're definitely one of the most confusing brands out there on the market, and they're somewhat surrounded by controversy, and I'm going to explain to you why and why I would order from Fighters Boutique. To make an incredibly long story short, if you're not aware, patent laws are very much a big deal in the United States, and apparently in Thailand, they're not so much. Windy, unfortunately, is kind of having the same bad luck as the brand Twins Special. Twins had Twins USA, which was a pair of brothers that was basically selling either counterfeit Twins Special gear, or they were not sending gear out at all to people. So Twins USA has basically made it impossible to get twins at all in the United States for the last couple of years. In fact, if you go on twinspecial.com, you'll see that they have a whole thing every time you log on that do not buy from Twins USA because they're not legitimized. Apparently the same thing happened with Windy. Even when I bought the Pro Line gloves, I had people saying that they were fake Pro Lines because there's Windy USA, Windy Fight Store, windyboxing.com, and also Combat Sports has Windy equipment, but from what I understand, Combat Sports has their own type of patent from Windy to make some stuff of their own that's still made in Thailand and sent to Combat Sports from the original Windy factory. And I was reassured by the Fighters Boutique owner that these come directly from Thailand. In fact, they were out of stock, and I had to wait a little bit for them to come from the Windy factory themselves. So these are legitimate Windy gloves. He says he does not deal with anyone that he cannot confirm they come from a Thai factory. So these are the original Windy brands that you have seen since 1951, which is very reassuring. Comes to the exact model I have. The model number is the BGVH, and I got them in the 16-ounce black coloration, and of course in the Velcro closure. The leather is very shiny and it has that nice display case factor, and I love how glossy it looks. You also have your classic Windy Globe logo, which looks amazing on the back. Thumb is very short and fat and has a standard thumb attachment. Unlike a lot of Thai gloves, there are actually no breathe holes on the front, which is kind of interesting. But you do have that piece of foam on the side to catch kicks easily. And down here you have your classic Windy Globe logo again in blue and red. And you also have Windy, handmade in Thailand, 16-ounce BGVH for the model number. The outer shell is made out of a very clean and smooth cowhide leather. You have your standard Thai layered foams, which is latex, EVA, and high density. And it feels soft to the touch towards the top, but the harder you squeeze, the firmer it gets. First fit and feel is that these are very stiff. It's kind of hard to make a proper fist because my fingers are constantly trying to fight through the material towards the tip. And opening for a clinch is really hard right now. They are cinched on my wrist really well, and they are definitely not coming off unless I pull really hard. Just like everything else I've tried by Windy, they're very high quality and incredibly well made, but they are super hard compared to anything else by Windy I've tried, so they're definitely gonna have a long break-in period. So after unboxing all the gloves, you might be asking which one am I most excited to use, and I put them in order from left to right. One I'm most excited to use by far is the Thaismai, and you know what? The owner of the Fighters Boutique was not lying to me. It won't shock me just off fit and feel and what I like in a glove if these become my favorite Thai glove I've ever tried. And I think a lot of the old school Muay Thai practitioners I've talked to over the years were speaking the truth. These are so comfortable off the jump. The leather feels great. They smell great. It feels super high quality, and it just feels broken in right off the jump. So I'm incredibly excited to try these gloves out, especially since they're one of the oldest Thai brands out there. There's a reason why they've been around. My math is bad, but I want to say almost 70 years. It's been over 60 years because my parents were born in 67. These have been around since 60. They'll almost be 60. Yeah, they've been around with just comfortably say 65 years. I do fight stuff for a living. I don't do math, so don't make fun of me. Up next is Raja, because I've seen them a bunch and I've never really tried them, and a lot of people have sworn by these. So far, I really like them and how they fit and feel. The only thing is that you do have to move the interior lining around a lot so far. Maybe that'll just kind of fix itself like a lot of gloves over time, but they're not too soft, they're not too hard. They feel really well made, and I definitely think that they're going to last you a long time if you get them. So I'm really excited to put these through their paces and see how they hold up after a year or two. The Sandee gloves, I really like how they fit and feel and how soft they are and how easily they opened. Out of all the clinch besides the Thaismai, they opened and closed the easiest. The only thing is they're very tall and the tips of the fingers just got pinched a lot, and I don't know why, if it's just the stitching towards the tips or what it is, or maybe it's a glove where they really want you to kind of grab the grip bar more than the actual tips of the fingers. Sometimes some gloves actually promote you to do that more. If you didn't know what the grip bar was for, that's what it's for. If you ever want to try and hit the bag with just grabbing the grip bar, that's what it's there for, really. But realistically, the only thing I could find to complain about is that it just pinches the tips of my fingers too much, and the interior lining is a little rugged compared to the other two I was just talking about. But besides that, they feel really well made. The padding feels very soft and broken in already, so I'm really excited to see how these turn out. A lot of old school MMA fighters really like Sandee. Actually, I don't know why I know this, but Dan Hardy swears by Sandee as a brand. I think he uses those a lot. Much to my surprise, Windy is actually my last pick here because they are so hard. They feel like they are made out of a rock right now, and I can tell the amount of pounding on a heavy bag I'm going to have to do just to get them a little bit softer. My biggest pet peeve is when a glove is just too hard, and even after you use it for so long, it just doesn't break in like they should. The other thing is the interior lining was nice and smooth, and it fits good with the wrist support and everything, but I really had to shove my fingers in, and it was almost borderline impossible for me to get a solid grip on the inside. So again, maybe they want you to use more of the grip bar, but even that type of grip just wasn't comfortable. So I don't know what was up with these. Maybe the combat sports version are genuinely just better, and I'm just going to have a good memory of those compared to these. So not my favorite so far. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really want to start sticking to a lot more Thai gloves, and then after I'm done with the Thai gloves this year, I really want to move into more Mexican gloves that are made directly in Mexico. I'm really excited to go that route, but so far there's some Thai glove brands I'm looking out for. I really want to get the original Rev Gear Muay Thai gloves because I've tried those before and I really like them. Mongkol, I think is how you'd say it, is a brand I want to try. I have Top King in my inventory. I just never use them because they never fit my hands the way I wish they did. And there's also a couple other brands out there like Primo, which has been very heavily requested. I'm debating on just getting a pair of those to tide me over for a little bit. But I got a lot of gloves in front of me here that I'm going to put a lot of round and time into. But I really appreciate all of the support, and I hope that you like these gloves. Let me know if you've tried any of these in the comments below. And of course, if you have any gloves you want me to try, always comment or message me. Follow on my social media pages, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And hey, share this with your friends if they're looking for some new gloves. As always, guys, I've been your host, the Postmaster Morrow, and thank you so much for choosing your source for combat sports, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.